Hello, welcome to Foresight. I am Aaron Havens. Foresight is a part of whiteconsultingstudios.com, and it's a free resource that we provide. We label it the Golden Nugget on leadership, language, and life. So who wouldn't like golden nuggets? Maybe you've been forwarded this email, this video, this link, and we encourage you to go to our website, which is whiteconsultingstudios.com, and sign up for this free resource. And you can see archived foresights as well. And it also encourages you, if this is something that is encouraging to you, to pass it on to other people, to other leaders. Just spread the word. It's free. So today we want to talk about this. We want to talk about something I'm calling it's no big deal. It's no big deal. Have you ever wondered how mighty organizations either soar or crumble? What either makes them or breaks them? There's something that is very common between organizations that either soar or crumble. They either have this or they don't have this. See, when I was a little guy, probably 6 years old, my mom took me to Kmart, and we were walking down the aisle, and I looked over to my right, and there were baseball cards. I remember my friend said, "Hey, in baseball cards, they're putting sticks of bubble gum." So I wanted to see if he was right. I walked over there, and my mom kept walking, and I opened up a pack of baseball cards, and sure enough, a stick of gum. So what else do you do with gum? You chew it. So I popped it in my mouth and started chewing it. I was like, man, he's right. And I ran and caught up with my mom. It was one of those moments where it was an incredibly good day, an incredibly bad day, all at the same time. Because I have this bubble gum, I'm loving life, and being the best mom in the world, she looks at me and says, "Hey, Aaron, where'd you get the bubble gum?" And immediately, for the first time, regret filled, and I knew, I did something wrong. Being the best mom, I told you, what does she do? She takes me to the manager. The manager takes me upstairs, and the police show up. I'm going, oh my goodness, what a lesson I learned at that point. And so, Mom, thank you, because from that point forward, I, as a person, as an individual, have had to create something, my code of conduct. I've had to decide between right and wrong, and as leaders, we've had to decide our whole life between right and wrong, the way we're going to do business. We have had to develop our personal morals and our ethics and formulate who we are and what we represent. And we talked about this in depth in a previous foresight, and you can look at it on our website. We called that one the won't settle fors and how important they are to develop as leaders. You know, many outstanding organizations and also many organizations that struggle or have even fallen, there's something that either makes them or breaks them. And here it is. It's you. It's people. Now, we've all heard that a leader is an organization, however, is a direct reflection of the leader, and that's absolutely true. The leader influences everything. Yet there's something even bigger. It's the people that make up the organization. And every organization is a direct reflection of the people that work there, what they do, the choices they make, what they represent, and who they are. Remember Enron? Remember Watergate? Any big scandal just doesn't happen. It takes people losing it in the small, losing the small things before the big fall. When organizations steal gum, it catches up to them. So write this down. Memorize this. Okay, it says this. It's in the small where we can either win or fall. It's in the small that we either win or we fall. We're either successful or we're setting ourselves up for failure. It's in our everyday choices that we either are setting up success or failing. If we make bad choices, stealing gum is a bad thing. Consequences will come. I will be sitting with the police in the manager's office. Shady deals, bad choices do catch up. They do. Here's a couple examples, and I'd encourage you at the end of this to make a list. Here's a couple of examples of us missing it in the small and catching up to us, okay? Maybe you're using an expense account to buy something like a water bottle or a pack of gum. That's small, right? Will that ever catch up with you? Will people ever find out? Maybe not. Maybe not now. Or maybe they will because it's like compound interest. Something will catch up with you because you lost it in the small. If it's wrong, don't do it. Here's some more examples. talking badly about fellow employees, talking badly at the workplace about fellow employees, or using the printer for personal affairs, or telling a fellow employee or a customer one thing and delivering another thing. These are small stuff. Facebooking or Twittering or shopping or doing something on your computer that's not work related during work time, that's losing it in the small. How about this? This is a good one. Getting the last cup of water at the drinking cooler and not replacing the big bottle. You ever done that? Oh, someone else would do that, right? Or the last cup of coffee and not making new coffee. This is a big one. You're married, right? You're married. Yet you flirt and you make advances towards someone that says a little more than just we're friends, maybe going a little deeper, losing it in the small. Not standing up for others, losing it in the small. Or taking credit that's not even yours, losing it in the small. Using words like under the table or off the books or between you and I or cash deal or off the record. We begin to lose it in the small. Look at every big scandal. Think of any big scandal or big business bust, and you'll find that they came from losing it in the small things. We've all felt the effects of a bad deal, a bad business move, and that's a little different. And maybe sometimes cash flow restricts it, so we have to buy a little cheaper part. And that may come back to bite us. That's a bad business deal. That's where we get recalls on products or loans that default. We may get bad reviews. Well, we learn lessons in these. And often those are just business mistakes that we make and we learn from along the way. Often these can be overcome. This reputation that we've developed can be restored, and this can change. Now, the areas that most often we cannot overcome is when we make bad choices in the morals or ethical or integrity or our values. When we make choices that are bad in these areas, we've lost it. Often those cannot be overcome. If we lose it here, we lose it in the long run. If we let these lines blur, how long and how far will we let the lines blur? When we don't change the water in the water cooler, it may seem small, yet it could be a good example of what may come in the future. We cannot lose it in the small. Here's a couple signs about how we're making poor decisions, and this may be warnings that we're losing it in the small, okay? One, if we began making excuses or reasoning for something. If we have to begin making excuses, maybe this is a decision that's not going to be good. Number two, we begin convincing others to join in. Alone, it's harder. Our convictions get to us. So what do? We begin to convince others that this is okay, this is all right. And once we have a crowd of people, it's easier to continue. And the third thing is quite funny. Like literally, it's quite funny. We begin to laugh about it. Because when we laugh about something, maybe it's not as important. And so these 3 steps, maybe along the way, if you find yourself in any of these, question, are you beginning to lose it in the small? It's like this. You put a virus on a computer and watch it take over. You lose it in the everyday small stuff, you've already begun the fall. If you think it's no big deal to lose the small things, then quite often you won't get that big deal because the fall is coming. So here's the challenge, okay? A couple challenges for us. 1, determine to live at the highest level of integrity. Dry off the sink after you use it, right? May seem small, but we have to set ourselves up to be successful in the small things. Replace the water cooler. Make more coffee when you drink the last cup. Keep your word. Here's another thing. Apologize and change in potential harming areas. Apologize. Evaluate what you're doing, decisions you're making, little choices, and apologize in the ones where you've done wrong and make the change. Number 3. This is good. Add your own example of missing it in the small on our website, whiteconsultingstudios.com. Add your own examples. We can come up with a lot of funny examples here, but they're good. We can all learn from each other. So I encourage you as leaders, don't lose it in the small. Make the good choices, because if not, they catch up with us in the end. Hopefully you have a great day. Forward this on to someone else and keep leading as strong as you can. Thank you. Bye-bye.